Raise your hand if you want to sleep in. Now, if you have a young puppy, I'm guessing that you're up pretty early. Puppies are early risers. But yes, with time and training, you can teach your puppy to get up just a little bit later and give you more beauty sleep. So let's talk about how to do that. But first, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Michele Lennon, and I am your fear-free certified puppy trainer. Welcome to the channel. You'll get great info on all your puppy questions. Oh, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you get notified when more great content comes out. All right, let's dive into today's topic. To fully address a puppy who wakes up early, we have to take a wider lens look at the puppy's overall sleep health. So puppies have wake windows, which refer to how long they should be awake during the day before they need to take a nap. Now, following those wake window suggestions, it's gonna allow your puppy to get good sleep. With a close eye on the schedule, you're gonna actually be able to help your puppy get the recommended amount of sleep for that day. Some people think that if they just limit their puppy's sleep during the day or in the evening, the puppy's gonna sleep better and longer at night. Ooh, sorry. That's likely to backfire. Sleep deprivation leads to less restful sleep, which means less sleep for you. So don't try to exhaust your puppy or keep him up past his bedtime. Watching the wake window isn't quite enough, however. Puppies are pretty needy when they're young, and they have a lot of energy. Now, you're gonna wanna make sure that those wake windows have a good balance of activities, including mental and physical exercise, and training time, and meals or snacks, depending on the time of day. They also need multiple potty breaks and, of course, some puppy snuggles. One thing we have to avoid in the wake window is undue stressful situations. When puppies are put in situations that are too much for their limited time in our world, they can easily get overwhelmed. Too many of these situations in a row, and they could experience something called trigger stacking, which is stress on top of stress on top of stress. That can really get in the way of a good sleep. So if your puppy isn't sleeping well in general, look at the overall schedule to see if anything can be adjusted or stress levels could be lowered. Speaking of wake windows, do you have a cool down routine scheduled for the end of each wake window? These cool down activities are really helpful for young puppies who might have a hard time finding an off switch. Most puppies find licking and chewing to be very relaxing. Dogs use these behaviors as ways to relieve stress. So provide a licking or chewing activity in a darker room with minimal stimuli. It's a great way to help your puppy prepare for a nap or the night. Now, when you build this routine as a puppy, the dog naturally seeks out chewing and licking before putting himself to sleep. This is an excellent sleep habit for your dog. I do recommend things like a licky mat, a frozen or a filled Kong, or a West Paw Topple if your puppy has a hard time with the Kong. And you can even put the West Paw Topple and the Kong in the crate with your puppy so he can nod off to dreamland whenever he gets tired. Now, the other thing to consider when you have an early riser puppy is food. Some puppies need small snacks before bed to keep their tummy full. Puppy stomachs that rumble can keep a puppy from falling back asleep or staying asleep longer. Now, this takes some trial and error with the bathroom habits, but most young puppies are getting up at least once a night for a potty break anyway. If you're getting up once, but then the puppy goes back to sleep well and sleeps a little later, then it's totally worth it. Now, most puppies start sleeping through the night closer to 15 weeks old, but some do it sooner and some do it later. So try some experimenting with small snacks closer to bedtime, especially if the puppy's normal dinner hour is relatively early. Environment, it's also going to play a factor when you have an early riser. So use a crate cover to block out light and use a white noise machine to block out stimuli. Very young puppies tend to sleep pretty soundly, but when they reach closer to 12 weeks old, they're a lot more curious and their senses are developed a little more. So then we start to see a dog who feels like they're missing out on a party when they have to sleep. So those stimuli blockers like the fan or a white noise machine and the cover are really important. We do have a video on these tools here if you want to check them out. I want you to pay close attention to your dog's comfort in the crate. Now, the crate needs to be a safe and happy place for your pup. Some pups take to the crate really well on day one, and other pups need some training to get used to it and get used to being alone. The training games can be found in our puppy training program with a full course on crate and pen training, including how to know if your dog is panicking, and then what to do about it. So while teaching your puppies to be comfortable being alone, we also have to make sure that they're not experiencing so much anxiety that they're in panic mode. And if they panic to the point of digging and drooling and screaming and soiling or almost hurting themselves, we're creating a negative experience with the crate. At that point, no learning is going on. Learning takes place in the training zone. It's retained in the comfort zone, and nothing new is getting into your puppy's brain in the panic zone. Now, I have 2 other suggestions of things you can do specifically in the evening that's going to lead to better sleep and longer sleep. I want you to evaluate your puppy's evening routine for the right balance of mental and physical activities. Some people feel that they need to do a lot of physical exercise so the puppy is good and tired for sleep. Well, that could also backfire because it could rev up your pup to a point that it's difficult for them to settle. And of course, puppies need exercise, but you might be surprised at how little they truly need. Now, we also suggest making sure that the exercise is balanced with a lot of mental work. So for example, toss a ball. Then, when your puppy brings it back, hide it in a towel or a blanket for your puppy to find. Then you can toss it again and repeat the sequence. That slows down the upward trajectory of overstimulation and provides a lot of mental workout too. So in general, if a puppy isn't sleeping well, we recommend increasing the mental stimulation in the evening. The other thing to consider is a decompression walk. These walks are for exploring, calm sniffing, and discovering. So with your puppy's supersonic nose, they're using a lot of mental energy processing all those smells. A short decompression walk in a really calm area might be a great thing to add in late afternoon or early evening. Evenings can be challenging for puppies, even on a good day. So don't feel discouraged if it takes time to find the perfect balance that leads to good sleep. Now, I do have a video with a few more suggestions for that challenging evening time if you need it. All right, did you get all that? So let's make sure your puppy's overall sleep schedule is appropriate for his age and spread out well throughout the day. Make sure your dog's wake window activities are balanced with mental and physical exercise. Make sure your dog isn't experiencing undue or repeated stress situations that create adrenaline and impact sleep. Create a cool down routine that can be used to prepare for nights or naps. Consider adjusting mealtime or offering a small snack before bed. And make sure the environment is conducive to sleep, including a quiet, dark room, stimuli blockers, and a comfortable crate. Oh, make sure the puppy is comfortable in the crate and not panicking or stressed. Do the necessary crate training to get to this point. And I want you to adjust the evening schedule with calming activities and mental enrichment. Oh, one thing that I don't recommend, doing nothing. When talking about puppies, one piece of advice that makes me cringe is just give it time, it will get better. Behavior doesn't usually get better just with time. It usually takes time and training. That's no different here. So as your puppy grows and becomes more comfortable in your home and crate and development slows, better sleep usually follows naturally. Now, you can't do nothing up until that point and expect some light switch at 9 months, but with the building of a good habit, like I explained today, along with normal growth and development, you'll see the sleeping in that you like. So here's something to look forward to. Older dogs can more easily sleep in with you on weekends, but tolerate early schedules on weekdays. Like I said, this gets easier with time. And training. All right, this is your favorite puppy trainer with the How to Train a Dream Dog team, wishing you and your puppy sweet dreams and a good night. Are you loving this great info? If you love our stuff, please let us know. Leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, or use the super thanks. I'm always here if you need me. I am part of your puppy raising team after all. So just comment with any questions below, or you can join our awesome Facebook group, Puppy Training with Michele Lennon. And at the very least, tune into some awesome trainers like me to get advice from, like on this YouTube channel. You might want to bookmark our website too, which shares more about our online puppy training program.